At first, I wanted to write a book of short stories, chronicling the individual stories of all the different confidential informants I worked with throughout my career as a police officer. I wanted to tell their stories, who they were, where they came from, why they informed, and what they accomplished. But it made more sense to give readers a chronological accounting of my 31-year career, sharing the interactions with my informants, how it affected their lives and my job. Hi, I'm Edmond Gagnon. I was a Windsor police officer for 31 and a half years. After I retired, I decided to start writing, and I became a published author. I was born in the town of McGregor. It's about 10 minutes south of Windsor, but I grew up in the city and lived in the city all my life. Becoming a police officer is not something I'd thought about, but I was working a warehouse job at the time, and my boss asked me one day if that's where I wanted to spend the rest of my life. I told him I was interested in police work, so he suggested I take my lunch hour the next day and go down to the police station and apply for a job. I was hired on the Windsor Police Service as a cadet. When you're a cadet, you're on the bottom of the totem pole. It's the lowest job. We had no powers of arrest, and we weren't allowed to carry guns. We did menial jobs like working in the office, serving summons and subpoenas, working in the court building, handing out parking tickets. It was the lowest job on the totem pole, so you had to fetch coffee and breakfast for the regular police officers who wouldn't even let us change in their locker room. Working as a cadet was like a police apprenticeship. Yes, once promotions open up, they send you to Elmer, the police college. And back in my day, it was a two-part course, the first one being 10 weeks. During the 10 weeks, they taught you the basics of law, Highway Traffic Act, drill and deportment, spending time at the shooting range, and learning the basics in policing. After the first part, you were supposed to go back to your police building. The second part of police training in Elmer was a 5-week course where you went back and you learned more about the law, more specific things, drug enforcement, fraud, arson, different things that you're going to use throughout your career, things that you would use every day on the job. Finally, upon being promoted, my job was to walk a beat downtown. Walking the beat consisted of being in uniform and doing a foot patrol around Olette Avenue, Wyandotte. There was 5 main beats downtown that were walked day and night, 24 hours around the clock. It was a job, during the daytime was a job where you're mostly out there to be seen. There wasn't really much to do. We'd handle odd calls like parking complaints, maybe business owners complaining about moving some drunks along off the sidewalk. And then on the night shift, we were patrolling the back alleys and the streets, watching for people being rowdy or checking all the door handles in the back alleys, making sure all the businesses were secure. After working in uniform for 15 years, I got bored with the job and I was looking for something different. I applied for several plainclothes jobs and eventually got transferred into the drug unit. Getting transferred to drugs was an eye-opener. It was great to work in plain clothes, jeans and a t-shirt, and trying to blend into a crowd instead of standing out like a sore thumb, where all eyes were always on you. I had to learn how to investigate and develop my own informants, and spend time dealing with people on the street, trying to get information from them where I used to just arrest them for different narcotics offenses. It was something where I had to develop an expertise in doing my own investigations and testifying in court and eventually becoming an expert witness in certain drugs. Learning how to be an investigator in the drug squad, I found that real police work was nothing like you see on TV.